Let's do it.
Well, very good. Presto changeo. Uh, Earlier was just home from church. I wanted to lay that down. And then I had to go maintain service a rototiller, mow the lawn, wash some cars, go to my mom's, cut a lilac bush. Now it's almost 4 o'clock, so there goes my day. But I wanted to talk about the evolution of a riff, because sometimes, the guitar is such a great instrument, and sometimes we have some pretty cool things happen. So that riff just came up with last night, and then spent a little more time on it this morning, and I'll continue doing something with it. I think it's pretty cool, but it came from a show my wife and I started last night, Virgin River, and about 10 minutes into the first episode, it's a Hallmark type show, and first 10 minutes into the first episode, there's they go into a bar. It's a bar scene, but on the jukebox there's a song playing, and it had just a ear-catching rhythm. Oops. It was something like that. It was very close to that, but then the song did other things. But I thought it was out of my wheelhouse. It wasn't something I normally play. So I came back after we finished the show. I went back to that scene and watched it again. And then I came into my room here. And I wanted to talk about the evolution of a riff, because it's just so cool how this happens sometimes. And some of the best riffs are from bumper music that are on some cooking shows, some of those reality shows, Food Network, other ones, artsy fartsy, whatever it is. But the bumper music sometimes have some really cool riffs. Anyways, this started as standard tuning, and since it was kind of turning into a bass line type riff, I thought, well, let's go ahead and detune. All right. So now we're getting there. And then there was tempo things that always come about. So then you have to have a tempo. So I ended up on 117, 118, right in there. 120 was strangely a little too fast, and it's interesting to me. It's ironic because when I used to do worship music, the leader sometimes, Thursday night rehearsal, 4 hours, 6 to 10 p.m. on Thursday night, for a 4-service set on Saturday and Sunday, and he would sometimes quibble over 2 beats per minute, and I kind of get that, but in worship music, I think it's sometimes good to turn the clicker off and let the passion roll through. But to each his own, whatever. He was in charge, so I followed directions. So we're on this D deal. It's centered around E. Whatever it was. And then it because it's nice to come up to your root and down to your root. If you can come up to your root and down to your root, that's good. And it's in E. So then I needed some other melodic stuff, so I started fooling around with... Okay, we'll play E again. In a second position, and then a C. Found that, and it sounded pretty good, and then the A. And just stuck on A major. Tried A minor, but it didn't sound right. And then the D. D major didn't sound quite right, so I tried D minor. No, that didn't sound quite right. So then I changed to position to play D up here. And it didn't sound right either. Some notes out of modal agreement. So then I went and tried D here, but I had my pinky barring on the top of an A major. And that sounded right. So I got the D component plus I have that A major. So it ended up with the chordal part. C, A, A. And then I've got my MXR chorus on. I've got the wangs, obviously. Wongs. I'm wang. Got the Wongs, the Charvel, super great guitar. It's so simple. 2 pickups, 1 switch, 1 volume. You can do so much with this thing. It's ridiculous. And the Wong is... It's fabulous. And then the MXR chorus. The analog chorus by MXR is great. A great chorus because it doesn't shy away from getting dirty. It still sounds good with the distortion of high gain, whereas a lot of chorus pedals sound like crap once you turn the gain up. Anyway, that's not the riff like it was, but you get the idea. So it's just it was fun to talk about the evolution of a riff and where to get some great music. Our ideas is from the offerings up on Netflix. And then I was going to talk about my experience with Harley Benton. My friend at work secured a Harley Benton gold top with the P90s in it, and it couldn't be set up. We've struggled with it. I gave it my best go. He also has a friend that does builds, and he gave it a go, spent several hours, did a fret leveling, in fact, recrowned, leveled the frets. He tried it, I tried it. We could not get it to play correctly. It had this resonance, it had buzzing that we couldn't get rid of. So he, my friend, got in touch with Harley Benton, and they sent him, actually they asked him to do a video of what the problem was. So we worked one up and sent it to him, and they let him keep it, and they sent him another guitar, which is a super nice thing to do. And then the second one he liked. It was correct. You could just tell pretty kind of right off the bat that it was right. But he didn't like the P90, so he he did some work on that and routed it out and put some humbuckers in that Daryl Braun suggested, a $30 or $35 pair of pickups that Daryl Braun suggested. And then overall he's happy with it, but he's out some money, some time to get a guitar the way he likes it. And I'm reminded of it, so it all worked out, but he still, anytime he has a chance, he grabs his Epiphone. He has 2 Epiphones as well, and he grabs those. But it's a nice knock-around guitar, and Harley Benton treated him right, but the first guitar was unplayable. And I'm reminded of when I had a BMX bike as a kid, and I put, you'll find out what it was, but I put 3-part cranks on it. I put a Mongoose gooseneck on it. I had the cool seat. I had some stuff on it, and I was pretty proud of it. But the guys still laughed at me, and they had red lines and mongoose, chromoly frames, anodized parts, and they laughed and said, "But dude, it's still a Huffy." But really, it was just the frame that was a Huffy. I had the cranks, the gooseneck, the handlebars were stock. Anyway, they would always just continue to tease me, and it weighed 35 pounds compared to their 17-pound bikes, so the difference was kind of there. But you do get what you pay for, and I'm all over an affordable guitar as long as it's a good guitar. But Harley Benton came through, fixed his problem, great customer service, and the second guitar is a pleasure to play, and it's great. But the first one was not good and could not be fixed. All right, so anyway, 2.1K subs on our push to 2 million. Thanks for coming by, and we will see you on the flip side. Where do you get your riff inspiration?